It's curious when you stop to think about it. We spend our workdays longing for leisure moments, but when the evening finally comes, and maybe this resonates with you, we end up wasting it. We scroll aimlessly, watch random videos, or simply slump on the couch, too exhausted to do anything meaningful. Understand? I've been right there. In fact, maybe even worse. My evenings were a constant cycle of fatigue and missed opportunities, until something changed the way I spend my hours after work. And before you think, oh no, another list of impossible habits to follow, calm down. What you're about to discover isn't a collection of strict rules or unrealistic routines. These are tested and proven strategies that work in harmony with your natural energy, not against it. And when I say simple, it's because they are genuinely easy to apply. They can transform your evenings from a period of passive rest to a moment of active growth. So, as you read this, and maybe even want to jot down some notes, let's explore 8 powerful systems that can change your relationship with your evenings. We'll cover everything from how to manage your energy in a way you probably don't imagine, to digital well-being practices, psychological techniques, and practical habits. In short, everything you need to make your evenings the most rewarding part of your day. And to begin with, know that the way we structure our evenings profoundly influences the rest of our lives. Many people make a basic mistake when trying to adjust their nightly routine. They focus too much on time management, when in fact, the focus should be on energy management. Think about it for a moment. Your evenings are not just hours on a clock. They reflect your energy levels, your mental state, and your ability to truly enjoy your time after work. And that's exactly what I want to work on with you. Let's start with something simple, the closing ritual. It's an incredibly easy, yet effective practice. When you finish work, simply stand up, take 3 deep breaths, and physically close your laptop. This isn't just a nice habit. It's a psychological trigger that helps your brain switch off from work mode. After that, most people get lost. This is where the 90-minute nightly block system comes in. Our brain naturally operates in 90-minute focus cycles, instead of viewing your evening as one big chunk of free time, which can be overwhelming. Let's break it down into parts I call power blocks. The first block is for recovery. This is the decompression time. No decisions, no planning, just time to recharge. The second block is for growth. Learning something new, moving your body, or engaging in a hobby. This is where your energy starts to grow again. And the third block? Connections. Your energy is balanced now, which makes this the ideal time to create meaningful connections with friends or family. Something simple, yet powerful. And this is what changed my perspective: reverse scheduling. Most people organize their day starting in the morning, but think about it. Your evening impacts your morning much more than the other way around. So let's flip the game. Start by setting the time you plan to go to sleep. Then, plan your nightly blocks backward. Finally, include the 2-minute nightly reset. Whenever you switch activities, take 2 minutes to physically reorganize your space. Tidy up your desk, adjust the lighting, change clothes if needed. These small actions may seem insignificant, but they have a transformative effect. They really make a difference. Now, let's talk about digital well-being. Let's talk about something that directly affects us. A productive evening requires technological boundaries. Think about old movies where vampires drained energy. Your electronic devices do the same. They silently suck the potential out of your evening. But I'll show you how to turn them into allies instead of villains. One unconventional idea I use is called app mortality. Here's the challenge. Every night, delete one app from your phone. And if you need it tomorrow, don't worry, you can reinstall it. Interestingly, 90% of the time, you won't even remember which app you deleted. Another strategy I use is analog hour. 1 hour before sleep, your devices fall asleep before you do. But here's the secret. It's not enough to turn them off. It's essential to put them in another room. Turn your bedroom into a refuge, not an extension of your office. To be clear, digital minimalism doesn't mean going back to 1985. It's about using technology consciously. Choose 3 essential apps for your evening and focus on them. The rest is just digital noise. Another effective technique is to create physical barriers between you and your screens. For example, charge your phone in the kitchen, store your laptop in a drawer, use an analog alarm clock. These small changes create what I call a fortress around your nightly routine. Remember, technology should serve your evenings, not steal them. These strategies aren't just rules. They are tools to unlock the potential of the night you deserve. Psychological techniques. With the devices under control, it's time to focus on the essential, your mind. It is the command center of your evening. And these psychological techniques are not just self-help book tricks. They are real transformations that can change how you experience it. I've seen these practices work. After hours, both in my life and in the lives of hundreds of people, I discovered a key insight that transformed my relationship with screens, something I call sunset digital protocols. Think about it. The brain doesn't differentiate between the light from a screen and sunlight. So, by staring at devices, late into the night, your brain believes it's still noon. But the most important insight isn't just in when you use screens, but in how you abandon them. Something that revolutionized my evenings was creating what I call a night sanctuary. And no, that doesn't just mean adding some cozy pillows. It's about creating an environment that tells your brain it's time to relax. This is where the magic happens. Think of soft lighting, pleasant textures, and calming colors. Your environment directly impacts your subconscious, almost as if whispering to you. One fascinating technique I use is the Future Self Journal. Every night, write a letter to your morning self. But the secret is in the focus. Don't describe what you should do, but how you want to feel. You see, the brain has an amazing ability to work backward to achieve those feelings. And this leads us to an important mindset shift, something I call the nighttime energy investment mindset. Many people view the night as borrowed time from the next day, but it's time to change that perspective. Your evening is not a debt to be repaid. Think of it as an investment in your tomorrow. Every moment of rest and care now is building up the energy reserves for the next day. This is transformative. This is where the decision elimination strategy comes in. At night, your decision-making ability is depleted. So, what can you do? Eliminate as many choices as possible. Lay out your clothes for the next day, plan your meals, and organize your morning space. Your future self will thank you for it. Mindfulness and emotional intelligence. Practices. How we handle our thoughts naturally guides us to understand our emotions. Your emotions are not something to be managed. In fact, they are messages waiting to be understood. And these messages can turn into incredibly powerful tools for your evenings. Here's something unexpected. Moments of micro-meditation. Forget about sitting for an hour in lotus position. Let's think of something much smaller. For example, when serving a cup of tea, feel the warmth of the cup as you settle on the couch. Notice 3 points of contact between your body and the surface. These small moments of awareness work like a reset button for your mind. One practice that transformed my evenings is establishing a nighttime awareness protocol. Most of us, myself included at one point, spend the evenings on autopilot. However, I realized that your evening has a rhythm, a unique pulse. Try this. Every hour, take 10 seconds to identify your current emotion. Just name it. Don't try to change it or control it. This simple act of naming your emotions can reduce their impact by up to 40%. It's at this moment that true transformation happens. Introduce the concept of anchoring in the present. Choose 3 recurring nightly activities, like brushing your teeth, washing dishes, or changing clothes. Use these activities as anchors for mindfulness. Instead of just performing them mechanically, practice being fully present while doing them. I've found that these routine moments can transform into the deepest meditations. Another powerful practice is tracking emotional energy. Our emotions aren't random. They follow patterns, just like everything in nature. Try tracking your energy on a simple scale from 1 to 10, recording it 3 times a night. After 2 weeks, you'll begin to see your emotional rhythms with the same clarity as you see your daily schedule. The nighttime emotional audit is also a transformative tool. Before bed, ask yourself 3 simple questions. What energized me today? What drained me? What surprised me? Don't worry about writing long texts. Single words are enough. You're not analyzing, just recognizing. This practice taught me something essential. Emotions aren't barriers to be overcome. They are messages waiting to be understood. When you start facing them with curiosity instead of judgment, something amazing happens. They become your most reliable guides for a fuller life. To avoid making this too heavy, let's stop here for today and soon I'll bring the final part of this study. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Leave in the comments, what have you been doing in your free time?